President Donald Trump received a political blow late Friday when a federal judge ruled that the impeachment process was legal. A House resolution has never, in fact, been required to begin an impeachment inquiry, Judge Beryl Howell wrote, giving the Judiciary Committee the right to review the secret grand jury evidence from Robert Mueller's investigation. Before the ruling, the president insisting that he didn't need a dedicated strategist to coordinate his impeachment message.
I'm the team.
Then visiting a historically black college in South Carolina, where he compared his impeachment plight to the criminal injustice endured by African Americans.
And I have my own experience. You know that. You see what's going on with the witch hunt.
Touting his record on sentencing reform while complaining that he's being treated unfairly.
In America, you're innocent until proven guilty, and we don't have investigations in search of that crime.
The president on defense as his Justice Department goes on offense, opening a criminal inquiry disclosed Thursday night into the origins of the Mueller investigation.
Hi guys, Adam is here. So this is happening right now. Trump comes roaring back into the White House for his second term. He's got a list, and I mean a real list. Names of everyone he believes wronged him during his first term. James Comey, John Brennan, Sally Yates. All the people he blames for the Russia investigation, the witch hunt, the endless scrutiny that made his first 4 years a living nightmare.
There are growing concerns from federal judges over increased threats against them after a dramatic uptick in violent rhetoric and calls for impeachment online. In the past year alone, the online hate speech against judges has risen by 327%. That's according to research by the watchdog organization Global Project Against Hate and Extremism. Several judges are sharing their experiences at today's forum, and here's some of what Judge Kuhnauer said about the incidents his family has endured.
The local sheriff's office received a call saying that I had murdered my wife, and they arrived at my house with weapons drawn and in what is now called a swatting incident. Shortly after that, we received a message from the FBI that there was a bomb at our house.
He wants them prosecuted. He wants them punished. He wants them to pay. So who does he pick to make all that happen? Pam Bondi, former Florida Attorney General, longtime Trump loyalist, someone who had been on television more times than she could count, defending him against every accusation, every scandal, every attack. She was his person, his fighter, his bulldog.
Attorney General Pam Bondi released a statement criticizing a federal district judge involved in the ongoing legal battle over the Trump administration's deportation flights involving Venezuelan non-citizens. Bondi said in part, quote, "This is another outrageous judicial power grab by an activist judge allowing unelected judges to usurp executive power as a fundamental threat to our democracy and the rule of law." That from the Attorney General.
On paper, it made perfect sense. She gets confirmed, she takes the oath, she's ready to go to work. And for a hot minute, everything seems fine. She's in the building. She's getting briefed. She's meeting with prosecutors. She's doing the job. But Trump isn't patient. Trump has never been patient. And within weeks, he's already frustrated. He starts sending her handwritten notes, angry notes, demanding notes. He's telling her to speed things up. He's telling her they look weak. He's telling her the delays are damaging their reputation. He wants heads on pikes, and he wants them yesterday. Bondi is trying. She really is. But prosecuting former high-level officials isn't like flipping a switch. There are procedures. There are legal hurdles. There are judges who might not appreciate the president personally dictating who gets indicted. It's complicated. But here's where things get truly insane. While Trump is breathing down Bondi's neck about the Comey prosecutions, while he's writing those angry memos and making those impatient phone calls, another situation is brewing. A much bigger situation. A situation that has nothing to do with the Russia investigation and everything to do with Trump's own past. The Epstein files, 3.5 million pages of documents, flight logs, emails, testimony, photographs, everything the government had collected on Jeffrey Epstein and his network of powerful friends. And Congress had demanded it all be released. No redactions, no cover-ups, no hiding the embarrassing stuff. Transparency, they called it. The American people deserve to know, they said. But here's the problem. Buried inside those millions of pages, hidden among the flight logs and the witness statements and the legal filings, there was a name that Trump never wanted anyone to see next to Epstein's. His own name. Palm Beach visits, friendly correspondence, social connections that went way beyond casual acquaintance. Trump knew what was in those files, and he was terrified. So Bondi gets handed this impossible task. Release the Epstein files, but do it carefully. Protect sensitive information, redact where necessary, keep things managed, and whatever you do, don't let the really damaging stuff about Trump slip through. She tries, she really tries. Her office releases the documents. But when the public gets its first look, something becomes immediately obvious. These files are gutted, they're hollowed out. Key pages are missing entirely. The bombshell revelations that everyone was expecting? Nowhere to be found. Everything that actually mattered has been blacked out, redacted, or removed. Congress goes ballistic. Lawmakers from both parties start demanding answers. Jamie Raskin, a congressman from Maryland, leads the charge. He wants to know why the release was so incomplete. He wants to know where the missing documents went. He wants to know who ordered the redactions. And Bondi? She starts to crack. The pressure is mounting from every direction. Trump is still furious about the prosecutions not moving fast enough. Congress is furious about the Epstein cover-up. The media is asking questions. The public is getting suspicious. And Bondi is stuck right in the middle, trying to please everyone and pleasing no one. Then comes the hearing that changes everything. Raskin is questioning Bondi on camera. He's pressing her about the Epstein files. He's asking pointed questions about why certain documents were withheld. He's not backing down. He's not letting her off the hook. And Bondi, who has spent years as a polished television surrogate, who has handled tough interviews and hostile questioning, who has always kept her cool, suddenly loses it. She calls him a washed-up loser, right there on camera, during an official congressional hearing. The room goes silent for a second, then chaos. The clip goes viral within minutes. It's everywhere. Cable news plays it on a loop. Social media explodes with memes and commentary. Late-night comedians have a field day. Raskin himself looks stunned, then amused, then quietly satisfied because he knows exactly what just happened. Bondi just handed Trump a reason to fire her, and Trump, watching from the White House, sees the same thing everyone else sees. His attorney general, his hand-picked loyalist, just had a public meltdown on national television. She called a sitting congressman a name like a child throwing a tantrum. She made the entire administration look unhinged. He knows what he has to do. Within days, Bondi is gone, fired. Trump announces it as a transition, a routine change, nothing to see here. He even praises her, calls her a loyal patriot, says they're just moving in a new direction. But nobody believes that for a second. The insiders know the truth. Reporters are already getting the leaks. Trump was furious about the Epstein situation spiraling out of control. He was furious that Bondi couldn't manage the release without exposing his connections. He was furious that she cracked under pressure and made everything worse. And so he threw her overboard. But here's what makes this story truly devastating. The Bondi firing isn't happening in a vacuum. It's not an isolated incident. It's one domino falling in a chain reaction that's bringing down the entire administration. Let me show you what I mean. First, the Epstein files. After Bondi's firing, Congress forces the full, unredacted release. All 3.5 million pages. Everything. And when those complete documents come out, Trump's name is everywhere. Palm Beach visits, friendly emails, social connections that go back years. It's all there in black and white. Impossible to deny, impossible to explain away. Second, Trump's own base starts turning. Internal polling that leaked out shows something staggering. 70% of Trump's supporters are now concerned about his ties to Epstein. Think about that number for a second. 7 out of every 10 people who voted for him, who believe in him, who have defended him against every scandal, are now worried. That's not a fringe concern. That's a massive crack in his political foundation. Third, the rest of the administration is falling apart around him. Iran is rejecting his authority. His own vice president, Mike Vance, is turning against him on military spending and war deployments. Republicans in the House are openly rebelling against his cabinet decisions. And the projections for the midterms are catastrophic. Some insiders are talking about losing 65 seats or more, a historic collapse. Fourth, there's a judge named Boasberg who has issued arrest orders related to Trump's deportation policies and his defiance of court rulings. Legal trouble is brewing, real legal trouble, the kind that can't be solved by firing your attorney general. So here's where we are right now. Trump's past is finally public. His connections to Epstein are documented and undeniable. His own supporters are getting nervous. His party is fracturing. His foreign policy is in shambles. His vice president is turning on him. His cabinet is in chaos. And his hand-picked attorney general just got fired for failing to keep the lid on all of it. This is the moment. This is when everything starts to crack. This is when you can see the system breaking down from the inside out. Let me walk you through the timeline one more time, because the connections matter. Trump gets inaugurated. He picks Bondi to prosecute his enemies. He's impatient from day one, writing angry notes demanding faster action. Meanwhile, the Epstein files are scheduled for release. Bondi is supposed to manage that release carefully, protect Trump's name, keep the damage contained. She releases a heavily redacted version. Congress is outraged. Raskin pushes her in a hearing. She calls him a washed-up loser on camera. The clip goes viral. Trump fires her. Congress forces the full release. Trump's Epstein connections become public. His base gets concerned. The rest of his administration starts crumbling. Iran, Vance, the House Republicans, the judge, everything is falling apart at the same time. And Bondi's firing? That's just the symbol. That's just the moment when everyone realized the emperor had no clothes. Because you can't fire your way out of being connected to Jeffrey Epstein. You can't fire your way out of foreign policy collapse. You can't fire your way out of your own vice president turning against you. You can't fire your way out of the courts issuing arrest orders. You can't fire your way out of any of this. What's coming next? That's the question everyone is asking. Bondi is gone. Someone new will take over as Attorney General, but that doesn't make the Epstein files disappear. That doesn't make Trump's connections vanish. That doesn't make his supporters forget what they've seen. Every time someone brings up Trump and Epstein now, and trust me, they will, it's going to land differently. Because now there's proof. Now there are documents. Now there are 3.5 million pages that anyone can read. You can't dismiss it as a conspiracy theory anymore. You can't call it fake news. You can't say the media is making it up. It's right there, in black and white, in the official record. And Trump's base? They're paying attention. 70% of them are concerned. That number is going to grow. Because the more people read, the more questions they're going to have. The more questions they have, the more they're going to talk. The more they talk, the more the story spreads. And the more the story spreads, the more damage it does. This is the beginning of something. I don't know exactly where it ends, but I know where it's heading. It's heading toward more chaos, more revelations, more fractures in the Republican Party, more trouble for a president who thought he had finally beaten everyone who ever doubted him. Turns out, you can't beat your own past. You can't outrun the documents. You can't fire enough people to make the truth go away. Pam Bondi is out. Trump's secrets are out. His base is worried. His party is breaking apart. And the administration is in freefall. This is the story nobody wanted to tell, but it's the story that matters. Because it's not about one attorney general losing her job. It's about a president whose past has finally caught up with him. And no handwritten note, no angry memo, no late-night firing is going to change that. Buckle up. The next few months are going to be ugly.